Hi, it's Joe Mazumdar of Exploration Insights. I'm at the January 2025 edition of the Metals Investment Forum. And with me is the chairman of South Pacific Metals, Michael Murphy. Mike,
Hey, Joe.
how's it going?
Good to see you.
So you just did your talk on South Pacific Metals. We're talking a market cap of about 20 million, tight share structure under 40 million, fully diluted around 50. 10 people own 70% of this grassroots explorer in Papua New Guinea. So why Papua New Guinea?
Uh, the world's greatest geology. Simple. It's at the crossing of two tectonic plates with on top of the Ring of Fire. So it's create these fractures or fissures and a huge amount of volcanic activity. It's got 5 of the 10 largest copper and gold mines in the world. There's 10 gold mines with over 5 million ounces, 3 with over 10 billion pounds of copper. And they're not done exploring.
So we have Wafi Golpu, which is now Newmont after they bought Newcrest. We've got K92, which is K92.
Yeah.
Octeti,
Yeah.
Porgera, and Frida River, which is still in development.
Frida River still exploration. They've got a resource. It's 20 million ounces and 30 billion pounds of copper.
Yeah. So this is
And we're
scale.
kilometers from it.
Okay, and then you've got a big land package, a big footprint there right now.
Huge, 3,100 square kilometers.
So how do you fit in with the other guys in terms of land? Like
In
where
terms-
in terms of like people that own the most land in PNG, are you like
I've
top
never
five?
done the math, but I would have thought we're the most. I would have thought.
Really?
I haven't actually done the math, but I mean, any one of we've got 4 projects. Any one of them, I would have thought would make us in the top 10.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Package wise.
So you want to talk, and we should talk about not only the projects, but also the people that have come on to your board and also your management team to help you. If we
Yeah.
could go into that.
Sure. So we recently hired Dean Williamson, who is the exploration manager for K92. He worked and lived there for 5 years, so he knows the ropes. He knows the contract. He knows the people. He knows the clan leaders. He knows where everything is. So he's now kind of our operations manager, I guess. He runs.
And is he based out of there?
Excuse me. Technically, he's an expat from Australia, but he never goes home.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, we've got him a house there, and he's pretty happy. He's pretty happy.
Okay. You gotta make him happy. And
Yeah.
then you added
Alex Davidson.
Right.
So Alex is a pretty neat guy. Just recently put into the Mining Hall of Fame. Ex-head of corporate development and ex-head of exploration globally for Barrick. He was part of the team that bought the K92 asset
Right.
for Barrick back in the day. And they had some operational issues, which meant they sold it to the folks that are now K92 for like
Nothing.
$16 million or something. It was a crazy transaction. And it's now kind of a $2 billion plus market cap company.
And so what is South Pacific Metals doing to quantify the value of their property package right now?
Well, we're gonna advance the 2 projects that surround K92. We'll start on Monday to the one in the southwest, which will on the Ontario Northeast. We'll be out in the field, sort of doing some mapping and whatnot. And then there's that Ontario Central where we've got that really neat trench. It's 80 meters at 0.75 grams with decent sections at 4.5 grams. We'll get out and drill that as soon as we can. We're just kind of having some conversations with the local landowners, and with a bit of luck, we'll be drilling that in the first quarter. Not guaranteed, but that's
Right.
kind of the target.
And this is Otanu.
Ontario Central, yeah. And we'll get into the field with Anga, which is the property to the northeast. I'm going to say in 3 weeks. Again, figuring out where to drill. Like that whole new era compass system that K92 is all excited about runs onto our property. I mean, we show that in the map. Like they don't release that little bit of data for a reason. So it's on our property. We got to do a little more work to figure out exactly where we should drill.
Right.
And we'll start that work in the next week or 2.
And the drill program at Otanu
That's-
is how big will it be?
2,500 meters. So in PNG, you can drill up to 2,500 meters basically by filling out forms.
Okay.
You go over 2,500 meters, they ask you a few more questions.
Okay.
So,
But still pretty quick permit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when we went out there in May just to kind of see what was what before we didn't want to put our name to it and really get involved, every single person from the tribesmen to the prime minister, is desperate for you to come, for us to come, companies to come. I mean, they want the money, they want the jobs, they need the foreign investment. And it's the mineral richness there. I've had more than one geologist say they've never seen anything like it.
So, in terms of drilling there, is it expensive? How much does it cost per meter?
So the actual drilling isn't any different than anywhere else. It's $250 a meter. The expensive part is how do you get the drill there? So on Ontanu and Anga, you can pretty much drive there. So you need a little bit of helicopter support, but a little bit. In some areas you get more remote areas where you need all helicopter support. It gets expensive.
Right. Okay. But it's all due to remote.
It's due to the logistics. The actual drilling cost is nothing. It's $250 a meter, which is fairly typical, I think. But there's some areas where because of logistics, it's $1,200 a meter. But that's helicopter.
These are U.S. numbers.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And so, in terms of, there's still a lot of grassroots exploration work to work on in the properties beyond the two we're talking about.
Oh, sure.
Because that's more than 3/5 more
Yeah.
property that we're talking about.
So Kiliteke was a Harmony project. They spent $25 million on it. We bought it for $1 million. They had some social issues. They could have managed better. So
But now they don't have social license to operate, so they just thought
they're out.
Yeah.
So we have a very constructive relationship with the governor of the province. We think there's a Progress system. Progress produced 20 million ounces so far. The geologist did a bunch of work and said that system there is here. So we'll get out there and do some work pretty soon. And then May River, the northern one, which is a 1,700 square kilometers.
Near Frida River? Is that
Right beside it.
Yeah.
The northern area, there's sort of a swarm of VMSs. We're getting 20 meters of 12% copper and 2 grams of gold. On the lower porphyry area, it's a 7-kilometer trend with a whole bunch of 100-meter holes at 1.5 grams, all at surface. That's the other thing about the geology PG. It hasn't eroded.
Yeah.
It's all fairly new rock.
So in terms of doing what you're saying you're going to do at these two different prospects and drilling and then delineating more drilling, are you funded to do it?
We will be next week. So we announced the financing in December of $4 million. We'll probably close it a week Monday, substantially higher than $4 million. And that's brought in 3 or 4 institutions and a bunch of high net worth guys, and then the usual sort of insiders and strategics that are there now.
And so this will, what kind of runway does that give you?
Oh, plenty. So like the drill programs we're talking about are maybe 2 million, 1.8 million Canadian.
Okay.
So
maybe 18 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plenty of catalysts within that 18 months.
For sure.
All right.
For sure.
Okay, so grassroots explorer, market cap 20 million, closing a significant financing with drilling coming up in Q1 of 25.
That's the
one
target.
Prospect.
Yeah.
And then delineating more targets in Anga.
Yep.
And potentially drilling that as well in the second half?
Potentially.
All right. Okay, well, that's it for me, Joe Mazumdar. I've got Mike Murphy. Thank you very much,
All right,
Mike.
Joe. Thank you.
South Pacific Metals. Plenty of catalysts to come with a small market cap funding coming next week, apparently, and drilling on the way in Q1 25. That's Joe Mazumdar, Exploration Insights at the Metals Investment Forum, January 2025 edition. Thank you very much for listening.